time. So I thought today would be a very good day for a casual let's talk video. I'm actually leaving Japan this month. I'm in August right now, and I thought I wanted to talk about it. I've filmed a lot of vlogs while being here, but I wasn't actually posting because I didn't want to get in trouble in my job. I've been here for 2 years, and in these 2 years I've had so many crazy things happen to me. I was like stalked while I was taking a trip in Fukuoka. I was like doing a lone trip, and right now there was like a man a little bit too close to me, and I got uncomfy. Oop, train. Oop, I hope it's a cute train. Okay, I hear it. Normal train, disappointing. Sometimes we have a really cute Panman themed train that comes here. Oh, disappointed. You can still kind of see the train over there. Yeah, no, there's like a really cute train, and I feel like I can never catch it for some reason. So these giant bins are where they bring in fish in the morning, because I live in like a fishing town, as you can see here. If you're like, whoa, is that Chitan? No, it's his brother, Shinjo-kun. I think technically, canonically, they're no longer related. The government here did cut off contact with like the old character because of the mascot drama, which is funny. Here, you can see me and Shinjo-kun. Okay, let's go to the beach, and hopefully there's not many people here. And hopefully it doesn't bother the noise too much, but here is the beach. We had the summer Natsumatsuri festival here last weekend, so literally only a few days ago. So there might still be a little bit of trash. But yeah, I live next to the open Pacific beach, which has been terrifying because we have had earthquakes since I moved here 2 years ago, and it's part of the many reasons why I'm moving. It's just terrifying constantly being like under alarm of like the Nankai is probably coming today, especially that whole like July thing where like we thought we were gonna get it in July. Yeah, that was horrifying. I switched arms so you can see the beach better. But yeah, I'm leaving Japan this month, and I kind of wanted to talk about it, just glance over in case you guys have questions. I'm happy to kind of dive deep into it more. And if you're subscribed, please look forward to 2 years worth of content that I'm finally going to put up. I had a really unique issue at my workplace, and like I think like most Westerners that come to Japan, I came here as an English teacher, and it's not something that I'm new at. It's something that I've had quite a bit of experience of before coming here. I won't get into my job history, but yeah, it's not something I'm like new at. But because of like the weird, unique issues I was having, like when you sign your contract with like my specific company that I was hired with, they do ask that like you don't do anything to like self-promote. And I have this one girl that I know, and she was denied the job because of her follower count online. And she's here, she's doing great, I'm super proud of her, but yeah, she was denied the job opportunity because of that. And because of the weird circumstance I was in, I think I posted like 1 or 2 videos and then just like kind of called it a day. I'm out of breath. But I didn't want to risk, like potentially losing my job and getting like deported, because I'm like, if my videos start to blow up, especially if I talked about some of the sensitive subjects I wanted to talk about, I just didn't want to lose my job, Hold on. It's super hot, so I'm going to sit down for a bit. But yeah, long story short, hopefully the beach sounds aren't too annoying, but I originally came to Japan like without much of a plan, and I only knew that I wanted to be here like about a year. And due to life stuff, I ended up extending it to a 2nd year, and whoa, I just saw a bunch of fish. Oh, I wish I would have shown you guys. It was so cool. But yeah, I ended up staying for 2 years, and there's many things about my town. Like, I live in what I consider to be like the middle of nowhere, right? Like, I have to make it a trip every time I want to go to like Tokyo or Osaka for events. And like, that was hard because socializing was really hard. Like, my Japanese when I came here was like non-existent. And coming here, I obviously like speak beginner level Japanese now, but socializing was really difficult. And then I cut off, sorry. But I had a really unique work situation issue. I think that deserves its own story time because I want other people to learn from my mistakes and my lack of knowledge. I don't think that either party was particularly a bad person. I just think that there was a lot of misunderstandings, and it led to my detriment and my mental health being put under a lot. Because, like moving to a new country, especially one as different from, the States, like Japan is very different. Like they are taught like culture and like manners of like how things are here in Japan since they're in like diapers. And things that are like natural for people here, things that are like, second nature, are not to a foreigner. And such as like, yeah, they won't tell you no, but means no in Japan. And just a bunch of little things like that, like little societal things. I feel like that's a whole video I can do by itself. But like just getting over that hurdle was tough. And then going through the first winter here was really tough because as a girlie from South Texas, like it's hot in summer like all the time. So winter here was just really harsh. And then in the fall I was going through a breakup, and like that was really, really harsh for me, and I was really sad. So I was just not in a very good mental state. And then January came around, so I had already been here for like half a year, and I started having issues with my neighbor downstairs, like playing movies to the point where like it wasn't the noise that bothered me, it was that like my room would shake, like when you have like your speakers on. And that issue progressed, and for 10 months it was like I would wake up and my floor was already shaking, and I'd go to sleep and my floor was still shaking, and I would have a hard time going to sleep. So it was affecting my mental health because I wasn't sleeping, like duh. And I asked for help for 10 months and things weren't getting done. Eventually I solved it. Again, like this is a whole video in and of itself, but long story short, if you come to Japan and you work here, especially in like the education system, people get switched around from their job positions pretty often. So a lot of times people are actually new to their positions. So if their job is to take care of like the foreigners coming in, they might not actually know how to do things. And sometimes if you ask for help, they might like ask, but they might not really try because they might not sense the severity of it. So like you do have to ask different people, and you have to figure out a solution for yourself, because me having waited 10 months and been patient for 10 months asking help over the same thing was not normal. And it's not something that like was clicking in my head. Like I was like, oh no, this person's helping me, right? Like they're helping me. And when it finally clicked in my head, like, oh, they've done nothing, and I was like, my passport will expire in like 1 month, and I need to renew it. So either I get out of this apartment or I go back to the States. And moving would be like $2,000, and then like US dollars moving to a new house, because it's really expensive in Japan. But like moving back to the States would be $4,000 for my flight. So I was like, I'd rather move an apartment and then move out a year later. So that was one of the big decisions of like why I was kind of done. It wasn't so much that I was done with Japan. Like, yeah, I had one bad instance with one Japanese person, but almost everybody else that I've had interactions with has been wonderful. I've had like great interactions, but it was 10 months of suffering, and the person that was supposed to help me was actually not Japanese. And I do kind of feel like they're mostly at fault for not taking action on the issue. Again, different perspectives. Like I understand like maybe this person was under a lot of pressure in their job, but still it's like I was laughed at one point for asking for help, and that's when I was like, wait, you're not taking my problem seriously, are you? Like, you think I'm joking? Like, oh, I'm not sleeping, haha. Like, no, my guy, come over to my apartment, it's bad. So yeah, I was just kind of, it wasn't so much like this person, like, yeah, sure, they were a pain to work with, whatever, some people are just water and oil, it's fine, it's work, be cordial, whatever. My issue was with the fact that my higher-ups and everybody gave this person like so much like power and trust, and I was like, I don't feel like I'm in safe hands if like anything ever goes wrong, like it's like more severe. Like my living situation was severe, but if there's ever anything more severe, like I don't think I'm in good hands. So that paired with my career, like there's not really a good future for like English teachers here. It's not like a very well paid job unless you do your own business, along with like just my personal dreams and goals. Like I just started to realize like what it is that I actually wanted from life, and it's not teaching. I love teaching, I love working with kids, but that's just not my dream, and I finally kind of, it cut off again, but again, it's exciting to finally, like, I've known what my dream is in life, and I just didn't want to talk about it because it felt like it was so out of reach. But recently it's felt like it's more and more possible, and just the world seems like it's kind of completely going to the doo-doo, or I'm trying not to curse because I don't know YouTube regulations, but yeah, the world's just a mess right now. And I'm like, listen, like a job in like teaching and like design, like those jobs will like always be available if I look hard enough. I'm not like worried about that, but it's like I'm literally like living for myself, so like why not actually chase like what I actually want to do? So even though these 2 years in Japan have been like really tough for me, I feel like they've toughened up my skin and they gave me some really harsh lessons that I needed to learn in order to move on to like the next big thing in my life, which is really exciting. You know, like I'm trying to take like the positive approach to everything I've been through, because like I said, I've been vlogging for the past 2 years and I have so many videos and clips of me like crying, curled up on the floor. Like it is so pathetic and sad, but it's just the reality of like moving to a country where everything is so different, and like I have to learn the language, have to learn the customs, like how people think, like how to socialize, like how to do everything. It's like you're learning everything all over again, but because you're not a child, you're not a baby, like empathy is just not really there. And like as somebody from the States, like from Texas, it's like such a diverse state, you know, like I've learned how to talk to people, and I've learned how to, you know, kind of relate and have contact and help people that maybe don't speak English as well, or, you know, have like a cultural or language barrier, and that just doesn't exist in Japan. And I don't expect people to speak English. Like this is another country. It'd be ridiculous for me to come here and expect people to know English, but I do expect to kind of like be met halfway, you know, like pull out your Google Translate, like maybe pull out like, you know, like I'm speaking specifically for things like filling out government paperwork, like going to the doctor. You know, I'm not expecting like a regular store staff that gets paid 700 yen an hour to like be able to do those things with me. Like it'd be nice, sure, but like at the end of the day, like Japan is an island, and I think people tend to forget that. And I have had many people help me, but it's been more often than not where I kind of, yeah, like I have to kind of the waves are strong. I have to kind of pull the weight for both like the person trying to help me and myself, and it's just been very stressful. So it's just, there's just been so many stresses about living in Japan, and at the end of the day, I'm really proud of myself that I completed 2 whole years here. And I'm kind of bummed out because like I would have loved to stay here more, especially with like how state of things are in the world. A lot of my friends were like, dude, like you should just stay, like you shouldn't come back. And I'm like, well, you know, Japan has its own issues, and I just kind of miss like my family and my friends and things that are familiar. And like my dreams and goals like are in the States. They're not in Japan. Like I would be super down with coming and living in Japan again, but under completely different circumstances. Like not as like an assistant language teacher again. I don't think I can do that. If I do that, maybe I'll do it for like 1 more year. Oh, my town's theme song. You can hear it. Hold on. It's really loud. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, it's over. My town has a theme song, and at first I was like, why do they play that every day? Like, isn't that weird? Yeah, they're testing the speakers in case a tsunami comes, and they want to make sure that the speakers work every day. So they have theme songs, and they have a lunch hour alarm that sounds like the world is ending. It's horrifying. It's like it's a 12 o'clock lunch alarm. But yeah, so just kind of to run down like why I'm leaving Japan. One, you know, I had issues that were really unnecessary, and it was more the lack of trust of the people that employed me. I just felt like if a bigger issue arose, that maybe they wouldn't be able to help me, as it was proven by what I went through. So it was like one of the main things, I'm not gonna lie. 2, my dreams and career goals just didn't align anymore, and my dreams, you know, are not in this country at this moment. Like it might change in 2 years or in 20, but at this moment, you know, there's something I want to pursue in the States, and that's very exciting. So that's the second thing. 3rd, you know, I miss my family and friends. Like it's pretty simple. I don't think it wasn't like a really big reason for me to move, but it's like I already I already was living far away from my family, but like me living in a whole other country, I think made it like that much more difficult. Why am I turning this way actually? Yeah, let me turn this way so you guys can see the beach. Because I was watching the beach, but maybe you guys should watch it instead. Oh my god, I hope I won't fall. Girl, this is like so uncomfortable. I feel like I'm gonna fall. This is really uncomfortable. I'm like, you can't tell, but I'm like lopsided. I'm like kind of diagonal. There's a car over there. But yeah, like I've only seen one family member and one friend in my town. I have seen friends in like Tokyo. We went to go visit together, but like being a 24-hour flight difference away with like multiple flights is kind of difficult because if an emergency happens, like I'm really far away. So it was another thing, like it wasn't a very big reason because I'm pretty independent, but still it's like I do kind of crave a little bit more community. So that's reason 3. Reason 4 is like finances. I get paid a really nice wage for like living in Japan, but it's very like minimal. Like I can go on like trips, I can buy myself things, like it's very comfortable. But like if I want to go to the States, it's like 2 paychecks, like 2 full monthly paychecks almost, minimum, and that's just girl, like that's a lot. And I mean, still I think I'm very blessed. Like this is a very privileged opportunity, like I'm not complaining about that. But again, if I stayed here forever, this would be such a comfy wage. Or if I had a family, it would not be a comfy wage anymore. Or, you know, going back to the States, the yen is really, really weak. And I have some things I need to take care of financially. And it's just like, it feels like a burden. So I want to go home and take care of it. Was that 3 or 4? I think, yeah, it was number 4, finances. And I think that's kind of it. I feel like there's a bunch of other little things. 5, honestly, it's just like I miss wearing J fashion and crazy fashion and being like loud. So I miss being in an environment where I'm a little bit more comfortable, and maybe like it would have been possible here had I just had a different job. Like technically I could have just been 100% fully myself and loud and obnoxious, but it would be to the detriment of like bothering people around me, and I just didn't want to do that. Hence why I'm filming in the middle of nowhere. I didn't want to bother people. The sun's coming out. And yeah, and like wearing J fashion, like, yeah, I could have done that here, but it's like, this is such a small town. I think there's only like less than 20,000 people live in this town. Like I cannot not go to the supermarket and run into somebody that I know. It's just that small. Like I worked at 2 different places. I won't say details, but there's not many young people here. So I just kind of like missed having a little bit more community and a little bit more, I guess, like encouragement to like be myself. I felt like I've never been told, like my friends were like, dress however you want, like it doesn't matter. And I'm like, yeah, I don't care about how I dress in the States and like even my small town in the States, but like here I feel judged without people saying anything. I just feel so much more societal pressure. Like I understand like why Harajuku fashion exists now, which I'm grateful for that, because yeah, it's just society is tough here. Society was tough for me. Maybe for some people it's very easy. Maybe like hot take, but I think people that socially have it a little bit easier in small towns, because you know there's like Tokyo, it can also be difficult, but like in small towns particularly, I think it's a lack of social awareness, if I'm being honest. A lack of social awareness / maybe like better Japanese speaking skills. So that's maybe number 6 for me. I can speak a little bit of Japanese, but I feel like I need somebody to like handhold me and teach me grammar points and like sentence structures a little bit better. So I will be continuing to work on my Japanese, but that's another reason, like if I come and live here again in the future, I want to be able to speak better and communicate better. So yeah, those are kind of like my main 6 reasons for leaving Japan. I can make an in-depth video about literally any of these topics, but I just kind of wanted to get it out there that it's been a really great time, and I've already cried a bunch of times. I already moved out of my house, so I'm kind of in vacation mode already, which is really, really nice. So yeah, I will be leaving Japan, and if you're subscribed, please look forward to like 2 years worth of content and like so many sit down and talks. I have so much crazy stuff to share, so many story times, so please subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you guys later. Bye! I gotta go home and have dinner. How am I gonna get up? I need to rinse off my bottle.